Hi there, I am the Fangirl Otaku, but you guys can call me Vega. I am going to review these plushies here today. This is possibly the first time some people are seeing my face, because I don't really post it a lot. It's not like I've never posted it, but I don't think I've ever posted it on YouTube. So here I am, I guess. The first half of this video is going to be as advertised, and I'm going to be reviewing and talking about these plushies of Zach Hadel. But the second half, I am going to do like a vlog type thing and talk about the future of this channel. But I will very clearly say when I'm done reviewing the little guys here. So if you're not interested in that whatsoever, you can easily just click off the video once I'm done with these little guys. First of all, I want to go into a really brief, like, who is Zach Hadel thing. I mean, if you're here, you probably already know, but if you're just watching my channel, which I don't know why you'd be doing that, but if you're here and somehow don't know who Zach Hadel is, he is a popular animator and voice actor. He has worked on both industry and indie products. He is one of the co-creators of the Adult Swim show Smiling Friends. He's done storyboards for SpongeBob, god dang it. And he is also scarcely these days on the gaming YouTube channel Oni Plays, but he still does show up every once in a grand while. He just still does show up. And Oni Plays is why we're here today, because these are Oni Plays brand plushies. Him and his friends are actually all pretty much like animators and or voice actors, something of the like. It's a little bit of a friend group thing. On the Oni Plays Shark Robot page, they sell plushies of the three titular guys of the channel. Chris, who runs and owns the channel, Zach Hadel, and Tomar, and Joshua Tomar. And, you know, I'm also just realizing they don't have a Lyle plush either. Wow. This actually confounds me how they don't have more, but they have so many variations of like 3 of the guys who've been on this channel. But anyway, we're here to talk about Zach today. Yeah, that's who Zach is. What is something that all of these plushies have? Well, first of all, they're all made of a fabric called minky, which is really common on the like plushie market these days. Most things are made out of minky, honestly. It's a good fabric. There's a reason that most people use it. I use it when I make plushies, but it's really flexible. It's really soft. You can get it with like different degrees of fuzziness and softness. There's this one gray minky fabric that I actually have in my possession somewhere right now because I'm working on a Gamzee from Homestuck plush, and it's a lot fluffier than this is, but it's still minky. It's what this fabric is. So yeah, not a bad fabric, pretty decent. They're really decently made. Like this little guy here, he's got like his halo and his wing embellishments. The other guys don't really have that, but they all had this embroidery on it. This is embroidered on. It's not like a little plastic thing that'll wear off in the wash. They're all talking plushies. I forgot to mention that. I'll go over all of their unique voice lines in a minute, but each one of them has its own unique little voice box inside. They take 3 AAA batteries. You can kind of see it through the case there. And yeah, speaker, button. They also have a little switch so you can turn it on and off. So if you don't want it to like squeal every time you bump into your plushie, but still have the voice box in there, you can turn it off. But no, I like the squealing, so I keep it on. And as you can see, it's really easily removable through this little zipper in the back. Each one of them has this. The zipper hole is a little bit small. You kind of got to cram the voice box in there, but once you get used to learning how to do it, it's pretty easy. Did I turn it back on?
I really hate to startle you. I really hate to bother you, but you are by far the most beautiful creature I've ever seen before.
That's a spoiler for later in the video when we go over this guy's voice lines. But each one of them has like roughly 15 or so voice lines. I think that's a pretty ample amount of lines. I keep catching myself. I'm looking at the screen and not the camera. I need to look at the camera. Sorry, I'm new to this. This is something I need to work on. These two, they're the twins, okay? This is the one thing that does frustrate me a little bit about these guys, is that they're like the exact same, but a different color. Is kind of what, you know, the vibe you're getting when you're just looking at these. But I mean, I appreciate the different voice lines, and I'm a nerd for all the things that Zach does, so, you know, I bought them all. That's up to you, you know, your judgment. Oh, also, there is a fourth Zach plush that just recently came out. It's a mini, and it does not have a voice box. And it's literally just this one, but smaller. You can get me to buy 3 talking plushies with different voice lines and slight differences, but this guy, but smaller and no voice lines? Come on, guys, what are we doing here? Maybe in the future. I am weak. But anyway, we'll move on for now to our first guy here. So one thing that these all do at least have unique is the tag. The tag is unique on every single one. This guy has a little screaming Zach head on his bum. And the Chris face is the same, because this is Chris, is the same on all of them, but if you flip them around, they're slightly different. This one's, you know, it says Talking Zach plush, of course, because this is the generic Talking Zach plush. And without further ado, I guess we'll start going through his voice lines.
You realize I have your credit card information, right? I have all of your credit card information.
He actually probably does after me buying all of these stupid plushies.
Yeah, we do things a little bit differently down here on the south. I'm not trying to scare you, but there's a camera and a microphone in this device. There's a camera and a microphone in this device. Do not let it record everything you do.
It does cut off like that on purpose. Like, I think it's supposed to be like somebody taking him away from the microphone is the joke. Also, if he really is watching and listening to everything I do, it's probably a lot less interesting than anybody would like to fantasize or romanticize about me. We got a few of these that are just like squeals and screams, but if you know anything about Zach Hadel, that is very on brand. He is a squealer and a screamer. That one's my favorite, and it's a very unique Zach scream.
There's a snake in my boot.
The cadence with which he says that gives me pause. I'm just saying.
Ow, that actually hurt. You seriously pushed a weird... It was like a sore spot.
I'll try to be nicer.
That tickles. I really hate to startle you, I really hate to bother you, but you are by far the most beautiful creature I've ever seen before. You realize I have your credit card information, right? I have all of your credit card information. Yeah, we do things a little
That's
bit
all the way through
down
them.
here on the south.
So that's the first one. Not really ultra remarkable, but it is the bread and butter of Zach Hadel, if you know who he is. Next up, we have Goblin Zach. This was a Halloween release a couple years ago, and they've re-released it on Halloween a couple times since. I can't remember if I got him last year or the year before, but I think it was last year.
This isn't a joke, I'm alive. I can feel, I can see everything you do to me. I feel it, I see you, I see what you do. I don't like what you do to me.
Again, if he knows everything that I do, it's probably a lot less interesting than anybody thinks.
I can see the future, and let me just say, what happens to you is you're not gonna like it. I'll just leave it at that.
This was the thing that got me wondering when I bought this plush, because I had a really shit year last year.
I want to suck your crud, your gross crud. Imagine if you will. Ah!
That's a Twilight Zone reference. Fun.
You push way too hard on me. I'm actually gonna be sick. Oh. Ah! I don't know if you've noticed this yet, but there's like a shadow guy that hangs around your bed when you sleep.
Yeah, I call him Henry.
I'm legally required to tell you I'm full of asbestos.
It's funny that he says that, because my house actually is full of asbestos. This house is like 120 years old, and it has like asbestos siding.
Boo. Don't worry, that wasn't a real ghost. That was just me doing that. I just got a quick question for you. Do you feel blame? Are you mad? Do you feel fresh?
This one line I thought was really weird and stood out from the others at first, so I looked up if this is a reference to anything, and it's a Charles Manson quote. And if you don't know who Charles Manson is, I don't know if I should tell you to look that up. He was a cult leader, let's put it that way. And I'm glad that I said Charles Manson the first time this time, because I often accidentally tell people that that's a Marilyn Manson quote, the famous guitarist, and those are two very different people. Marilyn, he did not do that wrong. I don't want to say Marilyn did nothing wrong, because I actually don't know, and knowing what I know about rock stars, he might have done something wrong. When played in reverse, that one says, "Don't forget to drink plenty of water and stay hydrated."
You are hereby legally agreeing and consenting to the fact that this device is full of venomous spiders. Get out. Give me some water, man. My throat hurts. This isn't a joke, I'm alive. I can feel, I can see everything you do to me. I feel it, I see you. I see what you do. I don't like what you do to me. I can see the future.
Okay, so
what happens to you is you're not gonna like it.
I'm noticing this now and thinking about this, and you can see how his nose is a little bit lumpy, and if I go back to the other one, his hair in the front here, I don't know if, yeah, you can see it better from this angle, but it's a little bit flat. As someone who's made plushies before myself, that's something that's a little bit hard to avoid when you have a sculpted plushie like this. I love how you can, like, put your fingers but when you have a sculpted plushie like this, the only way to get it stuffed properly is to kind of like finger it and like get your fingers up in there and like push the stuffing up into that spot, and even then sometimes it doesn't quite stay. So I'm not going to put that on the manufacturers. These are really nice plushes for what they cost and what the purpose is. Because when you get one of these, the down low of it is that you're supporting the channel and what the guys do. You gotta kind of keep that in mind. They're not running a business to run a business. They need the support. They're like donations with a benefit to you. I think I forgot to show you this at the beginning here, but this is Goblin Zach's little unique tag here. The Chris one, I could have sworn this had a different colored back, but I guess I was wrong. But this one says Talking Goblin Zach plush. And here is the real star of the show, Angel Zach. He just came out this past year for Halloween, and I was waiting for him to get here for me to actually do this video, and he got here a couple days ago. So he came with this little lyre. It's got a little magnet in it that sticks to his hand, but the magnet, my one criticism of this plush is that the magnet, it's not very strong. The lyre is very easily knocked right off, and it's kind of a small piece. But, it's not really that big a deal. I'll whine till the day I die that the magnet is not strong enough, the magnet's not strong enough. No. He's got a cute little shiny halo around here, and actually the reason that I started buying these plushies was because I wanted to make a Charlie from Smiling Friends plushie and put one of the voice boxes in it. And I'm telling you, out of all the voice boxes, this guy has the best voice box for that purpose. I'm telling you, that weak magnet.
Always love your enemies. Unless your enemy has a big scary sword and he's like running at you or something scary.
I actually do have a sword, and I was originally going to do a gag where I put the sword up to the plushie's neck for like a few more voice lines, but I don't know how YouTube would feel about that.
The early bird gets the worm, but the early worm gets eaten by the early bird, so I don't really know what the moral of the story is there. Instead of using foul language, try loving God and Jesus.
You know, it just occurred to me that worm line is also very on brand for Zach.
Hey, how about instead of giving your wiener a tug, you go out into nature and discover a new exotic type of slug? How does that sound?
Very nice sentiment, Zach.
Doing good things makes me feel good! If you have an impure thought inside your head and you want to get it out of your head, all you gotta do is scream, no! You need to eat more green stuff, just in general. Just like grab anything green around you and eat it. Don't forget to pay your taxes. Pirating stuff is wrong, okay? So whatever you do, do not go to thepiratebay.org. Once again, that's thepiratebay.org.
Yeah, you heard him. Pirating stuff is wrong. Do not go to thepiratebay.org. Do not go to thepiratebay.org.
An apple a day keeps the doctor away, which is really good because my doctor is way too handsy with me. I don't like it.
That's not good. I really hope that's not true.
Always love your enemies. Unless your enemy has a big scary sword and he's like running at you or something scary.
Yeah, back to the sword line. So, yeah, those are our three plushies, as I like to call them, the Hadel Holy Trinity. And it really is holy. I love the wings. They're so cute. But I'm actually pretty satisfied with them. And if you really like Zach Hadel and want to support mainly the Oni Plays channel rather than anything Smiling Friends related, but the Oni Plays channel, if you want to support them, the plushies are definitely a good route to go. These two were limited edition boys and are only available at certain times a year. I know they bring him back like every Halloween, as far as I know, but this guy was a new guy this year, so I don't know if they're going to bring him back. And this one's always available, as well as that little mini one that I was talking about. And actually, the mini one does have some merit if you want something a little bit less expensive. You know, it won't have voice lines or anything, but it'll look the exact same as this, and you'll get a little Zach to cuddle at night, so whatever. Oh, something I also forgot to mention is the Angel one came with this little enamel pin. The image on his tag matches the enamel pin. It's a little bit hard to see. I learned that trying to record it previously. So yeah, that's the Zach Squad. If you have no interest in like me and my personal channel, you can probably skedaddle now. Alright, and welcome back to the Vega show. You never left, but I did. I kind of had to for a minute. The weather has turned and made my filming conditions less than ideal, but it looks kind of cool outside, so if you hear some wind, you know, that's that. My lighting may have also changed. But without further ado, the future of my channel. If you are one of the, like, 20 or so people.
Ooh, that's actually more than I thought.
that have been around on this channel, you know that like 90% of what I do here is quick draws, which is basically just me drawing, the process of me drawing set to some like Homestuck background music, which will still be there. That Homestuck background music is important. But what is going to happen in the future is I'm just going to zhuzh them up a little bit, which basically what I mean by that is I'm going to do a little better and fancy them up a little bit. I'm going to try and record myself talking over them and talking about like what I'm doing in the process and why maybe I am putting this thing on this character, or why I want this person to look this way, or why I'm drawing what I'm drawing at that point. In the vein of like Lavender Town, I'll put her like username here because she's one of the artists also on YouTube that I started watching a long time ago when I was younger, and I feel like that's just something that I could do. And yeah, it would be a fun way to share my art with everybody, you guys, the world, whatever, whoever is interested in it or wants to make fun of it, you know. Being cringe is free. Tell you that. It's a golden piece of information right there. Other stuff that I might be doing on this channel in the future is some stuff like what I just did, like in-depth collectible reviews, because I have a lot of goofy little collectibles and stuff that I like to share and display, and I'm a lonely little lady, so, you know, it would be cool if I could just, you know, show off what I have and compliment it for what's cool about it, and show other people maybe what is cool about it. You might have been looking at like the background of this video the whole time and thinking like, why is there a pentacle and a deer skull on the wall? Why is there a giant like old Homestuck merch box on the wall? Why is there a screwdriver on her table? Why is that a statue of David in BDSM gear? Which would be one of the collectibles I talk about, actually. But but yeah, answers will come in time, guys. I promise. The reason I look so disorganized right now is because I just moved in a couple months ago, and I am still in the process of moving things around and moving things in. It's been a little bit hard with it being the season that it is, and a lot of stuff has just been going down. I don't know, just we'll fix that eventually. Other stuff, I might talk about like shows or anime that I like. Big shocker, I watch anime. I mean, you know, I'm a nerd. The username checks out. Fangirl otaku. I am a fangirl and an otaku. And I am fully aware of the negative connotation that both of those names carry. That's part of the joke. I'm not really planning on doing a lot of like topical stuff based around drama or politics or anything like that, because I kind of just want to stay out of it. However, me being American right now and how everything is going to crap, I will say I'm sorry to everybody that's suffering, and I don't think that yapping on YouTube is the most productive way for me personally to help my community. You know what I'm saying? I will say I'm pansexual and we are not invisible. I think that is about all I can say on YouTube that makes any difference at all, if even that. So, yeah, that's that. I'm going to be non-dramatic and anything like that. I may consume some of that content in my own free time, but that is not for me to convey to you. There will be a lot of unhindered yapping maybe, because, you know, that's what I'm doing right now. So expect that. maybe a house tour once I finally get my shit together, and not all over my floor and shelves and everything, and actually explain a couple things. I am I'm Wiccan for one thing. I'll explain the shrine back there. That is my shrine where I have a lot of like religious artifacts and some family items. So that's what that is. I am not like evil or anything, or practicing black magic. I am completely harmless. For those that know what this is, I've actually taken a peace oath. So I'm like the most peaceful witch you could meet, you know? The most peaceful, weird nerd girl that calls herself a witch that you could meet. I know what I am. But that is what I'm here to explore. And I have just recently become independent in my own home, and a lot of things are changing for me, so I guess I want my channel to change a little bit with me and become a little bit more in depth and part of my life. So that's about all that I have to say for now about that. If you watched this far, thank you. I'm actually really flattered that you cared to watch this part of the video, because um, the stuff that I post now, it gets some attention, but not much, and I kind of understand why. I'm a very niche and eclectic person, and I'm not really expecting a lot out of this. I'm more just expecting to be able to vent my existence to the world, if that makes any sense. So yeah, thank you for watching, and if you're interested, you can like and subscribe, I guess. Ring that cowbell. I'm not gonna. No. Bye.